You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes.
Hello, today is Monday the 25th of August 2025 and you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and I'm on airport standby today in about 30 minutes, and again I kind of toyed with recording it later, but there's always a chance I'd get whipped onto a flight which would take me overnight somewhere and not get the chance to do it, so it seemed like now was the best time to do it. So I'm just kind of wandering around the terminal now, trying to find somewhere to stand. Oh, I'm going to go and stand by the fountains because that'll make an interesting noise in the background. There you go. So the way it works basically is that I am on call. So from 6:30 I could receive a phone call that gets me taken out to one of several destinations actually. I'm just wandering outside now. So that water you can hear are kind of weird outdoor fountain things at T5. So I'm going to have a quick look at my roster that I've screenshotted to tell you what I could end up doing today. So the first thing you need to know is there's an absolute ton of short haul that I could do. I report, so I start work at 6:30, which is the report time for a Boston flight. That'd be quite nice actually, because it's one of the few 3-day trips, and I can only do 3-day trips because I've only got 3 days of standby. So I can do that one. These will all get me back on Wednesday. So Boston is one option. That is all short haul. Then there's also Mumbai in India, Doha, Dubai twice. So there's 2 Dubais going this evening. Abuja and Jeddah. So those are the long haul flights I could do. And they are basically, they're the right aircraft type for me and they're the right trip length. So they can't make me work on an aircraft that I'm not qualified on, and they can't make me do a trip for more than 3 days. They can ask me, and if they make it worthwhile, I'll probably say yes, but they can't make me. And then in terms of short haul, like there's any amount of stuff. So looking at this, I could do Frankfurt, Copenhagen, Geneva, Hamburg, Glasgow, Bologna, Lisbon, Rome, Basel, Nice, I don't even know, Munich, Prague, Oslo, Manchester, Edinburgh, Athens. Where's that? That's I'm trying to remember what MXP is a code for. Milan, Charles de Gaulle in France, Newcastle, Aberdeen. So there's absolutely tons I could do short haul. And again, there's no way of really knowing what that looks like. So because they tend to arrange short haul in tours, it could be a 1 out today, 1 back tomorrow. It probably won't be more than 1 flight today. So normally on our short haul working blocks, we can do, in 3 days for example, we can do up to 8 flights. 3 on the first day, 2 on the middle day, 3 on the last day. So overnighting obviously in different places and ending up back at Heathrow. And obviously I can't do that today because my earliest report time is 6:30, which means my earliest takeoff time is 7:45, and there's no way I could get out and back and then do a 3rd flight before the airport shuts down. So if I do short haul, it will either be, if I'm really lucky, be like a standover, which means 1 out today, 1 back on Wednesday. There aren't very many of those. In fact, there's one reporting in 3 minutes, but I'm too early. I'm not working late enough for that one. I'm not working early enough for that one. The most likely pattern if I get short haul will be 1 flight today, 2 flights tomorrow, 3 flights on Wednesday, or if I'm lucky, 1, 2, 1. It'll probably be 1, 2, 3. So basically, in 25 minutes time, I'm going to swipe in and then just wait for the phone to ring. I've heard anecdotally, well actually I was with the manager of the Boston flight on the bus from the crew car park, and there's no gaps on that flight that they know about. Obviously somebody might not turn up, and that's the one, so you're principally covering the flight that has the same report time as you do. So I'm principally covering the Boston, but it's a lovely trip. It's one of the few 3-day American trips that gives you 2 local nights. So I very much doubt somebody won't turn up for that unless there's a problem with traffic or something. But again, it's quite late in the evening, so that's very unlikely. The ones I've been told by someone that there might be some gaps on are the 2 Dubais. So Of the long haul, that looks like the most likely this evening, but any of them somebody could not turn up, and the later the flight departs, the less likely I am to be used. Although, because all the flights that I've mentioned this evening, all the long haul ones, are 7 hours, or I think the Boston is a bit longer than that, but that's fine because it goes on my report time. But all the other flights are 6-7 hours, which means I can technically do them without going out of hours, because I can basically work on a flight. Because I start work at 6:30 p.m, my report time means that I can do a planned operational block of 11 hours, which will take me to Choxon at the other end when we land at the latest of 5:30 planned, although there is a half-hour buffer built into that, so technically I could still work till 6 a.m, but they couldn't put me in a flight that's scheduled to land at 6 a.m. They could put me on a flight that's scheduled to land at 5:30 a.m, and then if it's slightly delayed, I'm allowed to work for that half hour up till 6. And obviously if it looks like it's going to be tight, then they'll choose not to put me on that flight. So yes, that's probably a little bit too much information about how standby works, but that's what I'm doing tonight. You'll find out in tomorrow's podcast whether I get used or not. If I don't, I'll drive home tonight and I'm on home standby tomorrow. Or what they might even do is let me go home early tonight and tell me what I'm doing tomorrow. It's all up in the air. That's the beauty of standby. Anyway, thank you for listening. Take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.